So we're back on Deposit That.
Yeah.
Episode 3. We've been breaking up the segments. They have to be like guided and aligned on what comes in. I thought it'd be a really good topic to have a banker on the mortgage side and a broker on the mortgage side talk about the industry, talk about everything that makes you guys successful, but more importantly, like the journey that got you both to the levels you're at. So Joe, Gabe, welcome to Deposit That.
Thanks for having us, man.
I feel like we're on Mortal Kombat right now.
It's kind of how I wanted this to be.
To the duel, right? To the death.
So I want to first start off with when you first got into the business, what got you into the business, and then what's kept you in the business all these years? Joe, we could start.
Oh, all right. Ladies first.
Age before beauty.
Yeah, I mean, what got me into the business was my wife. She was in the business first.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Emily.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I've known you for a while too, Joe.
you have.
15 years, maybe 12, give or take.
I'm still young.
Yeah.
But Emily got me in first, and I was about 25 years old, still in college for my last year. And
Hey, Tommy boy.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, I think so.
And she brought home a big check. It was all refinances back in the day.
This is 9 years ago?
Yeah, 9 years ago.
It's 2016.
Yeah, 2016. I got, it was January of 2016. She brought home a big check, like 10 grand. And I was still in college. So, we're not making any money in college. So I was going to go into the supplement industry, sales, like powders and pharmaceutical sales. And I'm like,
AKA he was a drug dealer, but we won't say that.
yeah, why not? I was in the bodybuilding, so it coincided. So when she had that check, I was like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. So got licensed right away, May 2016, and hated it. I hated it at first. I hated mortgages. It was the worst thing ever.
So against your personality, like who you are as a human.
Yeah.
Knowing who I know you now, obviously. So I can't even imagine 9 years ago.
Because I wasn't about money at all. Like, I didn't care. At that time, I didn't really care about money. It was like, how do I look? But over time, you grow up and finally you just fight through it. I mean, there was many times throughout the first 3 years I wanted to quit mortgages, and just go and do something else that was easier. But the longer you're in this industry, the easier it becomes, honestly.
You realize there's nothing really else out there like it that you can make the amount of money you make and also have the physical freedom.
Yeah.
Maybe not mental freedom.
Yeah, definitely.
And we talk about this all the time, right? Where we'll always make jokes like, what would you do?
If you didn't do mortgages, I say the 277,000 people are in the mortgage business. If the mortgage business didn't exist,
What would you do?
unemployment line.
I have no idea.
Wow.
Marry rich.
That's the only way to go at this point.
How long have you been in business now for? Since 2020?
Yeah, July 2020 I got in.
Oh, it was July of 2020.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like I've known you for forever, though.
Forever. Definitely.
And what keeps you, obviously we have these battle cry moments
Yeah.
weekly. What's kept you in the business after what you learned early on in the business?
I think what keeps me going is the fact that I've got control over my schedule, right? I've got full control over my schedule. I control my day to day, right? And it's eat what you kill, right? So whatever I put in, I get right back out.
Yeah.
I use you as the best example of getting into the business, whether you knew anything or not.
Yeah.
You got into the business at the boom where rates were near zero. Everyone qualified. Everyone had equity in their home. Go and lock people at 2%, 2.5%, 3% rates, right? Then, I got the chills, dude. I wish you could just saw the energy come up from my ankles. Did you see that a little bit? It's just kind of that was kind of weird. I don't know if you documented that because it gives me the chills. You're the perfect example of somebody that got in at the hottest market and then saw rates triple overnight. What was that like?
I didn't know any different, right? So for me, I came from a business where you didn't really make excuses. The idea was you get the job done no matter what, right? Prior to getting into the mortgage business, I was in a B2C industry, right? So the idea was I go door.
Was it promoted at clubs too? Right?
Yeah, the early 20s. But once this B2C industry I was in, I was door knocking. I was in a retail store, walking up to people asking about DirecTV and AT&T.
But you're fucking W2.
Exactly. You need to sign up for this now, right? So right in the store, the idea was you walk out with appointments or you walk out with, with a sale. There was no excuses, right? So going into this business, I treated it the same exact way.
Closed by any means
Yeah,
necessary.
you have to get it done. No matter the circumstances, you just get the job done. So when rates changed, it was just, I couldn't control the market. It is what it is, right? So it's either you need it or you don't.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I came from a business where the idea was you talk to everybody you see because you never know who's going to say yes. Right. So the idea was I never wasted time on people that said no. Like there was no sale, there was no overcoming the ejection. Right. There was none of it. You said no, I moved on to the next.
So it brings you to a good point. You say no, move on to the next. And I was on a call earlier with a guy I've known since 2008 in the credit reporting and pulling business, right? Shout out Vic and James. Maybe we'll add like a little logo here for them. Just say hello. Borrower consumer loyalty is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
Proven. How do you guys handle, like you guys are both professionals and experts in your field and your craft. How do you guys both handle an unloyal prospect lead borrower referral?
Yeah. I mean, I have this conversation with my team often because at this point in my career, it's not just about me. It's about my team members because they're an extension of me. So for me, it's communication, like constantly being in communication with them. Because if you are that one split second, they talk to a person that tells them something else, or I can do this for you, or, I close with this mortgage loan officer, they can give you a better deal or this or that. If you are in touch with that person in some way, shape, or form, like every other day, whether it's a text, an email, or one of my team members, the more times they're going to think about us. And even if they do talk to somebody else, they're going to come back and ask us questions about what they found out. If you're not in touch with that person constantly, it's easier for them to forget about it.
So it's like constant contact. By the way, it's not an endorsement for constant contact. We rock with Lemware, so just wanted to throw it in there as like a little plug, But that's just how we roll. But I think I agree with you. Constant contact. I always found like when you're that reliable source, I think what you have to dance around is like what's over abuse in that constant contact on both sides. Because as you know, when people get this thought in their head, like they treat us, trusted advisors and experts, subject matter experts, as Chat GPT. Hey, I have a question. Chat GPT wants the answer. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. Hey, Joe, what's my rate looking like tomorrow? And you have to make a judgment call. Do I stop my joy, movie, wife, family time, peace of mind, whatever I'm doing to play the role of Chat GPT? So how do you handle that when, clients, going in, they're not loyal?
I don't. I don't deal with it at all.
We see on Instagram, we see the posts.
Yeah, I mean, if I feel that, I always I always educate people, and I always allow, go shop, please. But when we start to go do the whole back and forth, well, this person offered me this or this person offered me that, I know it's a race to the bottom at this point. So my whole thought is just go, because
do us both a favor.
Yeah, because I won't play the game.
I'll give it one shot and like, okay, this is my best offer. Like, it's either they take it or leave it at that point.
Yeah, you have way more patience than I do. I won't even take the shot. I will just please go. Because
that's like 4 years though of maturity and stability, right? I think you bring that down to you're married, right?
Yeah.
It's your wife that you work with, and you have 4 years, right? You're 4 years apart?
Yeah.
You're 30, right?
31.
Okay, so 3 years-ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're single, ladies. And look, you're younger and you're newer in the business compared to. So I think that's where like seasoning and finding your own repertoire, what works for you and what works for you. You're both right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, do you want to put in that extra effort and have that patience, or do you not? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, again, you have to wake up every day knowing like you value yourself, you honor yourself, and you're staying true to yourself.
Yeah,
I know when I got like further away from like my authentic self, I hated myself, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm letting this steamrolling truck without brakes come and run me over, and I'm standing here from 100 miles away. Like, I know this truck's gonna run me over and torture me for an unforeseen amount of time, and I'm only getting more mad at myself.
Like, there's no winning.
There's no winning, right? So it's like, let me just step to the side and let this truck go run someone else over. But because I thought I was maybe invincible, or I felt like obligated to help people, I chose to get run over by that truck. And then finally I was like, dude, I'm not getting run over by, if I think this truck's gonna run me over, I'm just getting out of the way now, because you're not gonna win anyway.
Exactly.
I think it's unfortunate because we're not in that person's mind, so we don't know what's going to make them tick.
At all.
Because there are people out there who do feel bad. Honestly, if you try to make them feel bad, like they will feel bad, and others just have no heart whatsoever. Stone cold. They'll be like, I don't care how much time you spent into me.
Yeah.
You owe this to me.
I'm going to the next.
Yeah, and you owe this to me. It's interesting, and that's where I think it's a good time to talk about the alternative financing or the commercial or the private lending world, because that's what drew me to that space and getting out of the residential space the way I did. Was it's a lot less emotion, a lot more money on the line, but it's really numbers and fact and dollar based, right? Not the what are rates going to do tomorrow? If someone's buying $1 million property, like they're buying the $1 million property because they're confident in the investment. They're not second guessing buying their first home or refinancing for the first time.
Well, also rates aren't moving so much too.
I was just about to say they're not as volatile on that. On that,
Not
end.
a lot of fluctuation.
So you don't have to worry about, hey, rates go up 0.125% or not, or did it change 0.25% in discount point? Because that's not really happening in hard money, right?
Not by the second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, talk about banker versus broker, right? What makes you a broker and why do you stay there? And what makes you a banker and why do you stay there?
I think it's just comfortability. I am not the person to say broker. I tell clients, like, if you're going to go anywhere, go to a broker or a banker, not a local bank or a credit union. So I don't ever tell people like we are the absolute best. That's not my sales pitch. I don't pitch against brokers because a lot of brokers will pitch against
That's all they know.
bankers like us. I'll just say like, listen, it's whatever you kind of prefer. Either or is a great one. It's kind of going to be the same. The rates I think are pretty much the same.
They're in line.
It's the loan officer that you get instead of the bank.
It's a relationship. And knowledge and experience.
I swing it the same way, right? Because I know firsthand there are some things that I can't do that Joe can get done, and vice versa, right? And I know a fact that he can also broker out deals to some of the same banks that I work with. So not much of a difference. It's just the individual who's on the other end of the phone that you're speaking to at the end of the day, right? Who are you comfortable with at the end?
Do you get a lot of clients that say to you like, "I'd rather you be a broker or a banker," or what does that look like?
I feel like I got that objection more when I first started than I do now.
Really?
Right, because I just feel like people are just becoming more educated about the process, and there's so much resources online, right, that people can research and Google and use to find out, who do I go to, who should I use, or what's the best route. Right.
People also don't know the difference between a broker and a banker.
They think everyone's a mortgage broker.
I'm a broker.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, you're a mortgage broker.
They don't get it.
No, I'm not a banker.
Yeah. But I think there's also in today's market where it's at. I think because bankers also have the ability to broker, it's kind of like that gray area.
exactly.
And people are like, oh, he's just a mortgage broker. Or he's just a mortgage guy. They don't know if it's banker or broker. I always joke around like, whenever I used to see someone's phone from like the first 10 years of my career, it was like, just call Jeff the money guy. Call Jeff the mortgage guy. They didn't know what banker I worked for. Like they didn't know anything other than just call Jeff. He'll get your loan done. I think we're kind of back to those days of like, they don't care if you're a banker or a broker.
Just care about the other person on the other end of the phone.
Can you get it done?
Can you get me a good deal? Can you get me a deal that I perceive to be good, right? Or that I perceive to be like you not taking advantage of me? I think that's also half the battle.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, going back to your question, the reason why I feel comfortable just where I am right now is just my ability to speak to one person, which is the head underwriter. It's just because my relationship, that doesn't mean I can have that relationship at another bank.
Right.
I might not. And maybe there's a way to have that relationship at a broker because you can be working with whatever bank you're going to and you can speak to the head person there and they'll get you the answer that they need. So it's just comfortability, honestly.
What are the current objections that you're handling in today's market from consumers? First time home buyers right now.
So interest rate, I mean,
That'll always be there.
That'll always be there. Monthly payments are at all-time highs right now. And
Well, rates are high and prices are high.
yeah, monthly payments all time. And then, people still think or hear in the news that prices may go down in the future. And it's like,
Not likely.
where are you reading that?
And what part of the country?
Yeah. I guess, you know, no, I mean, Florida, obviously, that's completely different animal. But other than Florida, and maybe like high-end luxury homes, different too. But I also think now with the high-end luxury homes with Trump being in office, I'm not into politics, by the way. I don't care who's president.
I hate politics.
But he does have some benefits towards high-end luxury homes with the property tax write-offs than, you know, Biden did have before. So
It helps.
I think that's helping, you know, prices in that range as well.
What gets you up every morning and go do the same Matrix mortgage world that we live and play in?
I'll answer this one first. I think,
Your dog?
yeah, Molly, I get up for her, and
Molly the dog or Molly the other Molly?
Molly the dog.
Oh.
She gets me excited every morning. No, I think what, you know, really gets me excited, and, you know, I think it's fun to be in control of my day. It's fun to be in control of my paycheck at the end of the month, right? You know, I could, and again, I work with a lot of great people in the office. I work with a lot of great realtors, and a lot of my clients are also so great. But, you know, ultimately, what gets everybody up at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Getting paid.
Paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me is not knowing how long my career is going to last.
Seriously?
Yeah.
From like an
well,
automation or digital
with
standpoint?
AI taking
Does that really
over,
like weigh on you?
yeah, it does. I'm like, I need to make as much money as quickly
It definitely
as
doesn't weigh. You don't
possible.
even get that far. You hear AI and you're like, whatever, next.
AI. What AI?
It's your fucking W2?
I'm not going to be fucking replaced.
Well,
outta
whatever.
here.
Listen, I'll use it as a motivation, whatever it
Interesting.
is. You know, obviously family, kids, stuff like that. But truly, like, I wouldn't know what my next move is if my career
got taken
wasn't
out.
here.
Yeah, I read.
today.
I think it's.
going.
I'll actually add on to that. It's, you know, my thought is that I won't be replaced by AI, but my thought is that if I'm not hitting the phones or I'm not, you know, touching base, there's somebody else that they're going to reach, or somebody else that they're going to go to.
Yeah.
Right. So that.
Yeah.
I read something earlier, and I speak to my trainer, Rich. Shout out to the Human Crane, Coach Sadiv. We talk about joy a lot. Joy is a topic, right? And I remember training in 2020, and dude, I was in it. I was in it in 2020 in different parts of life, right? Funding, Re-Verify, you know, all that shit, craziness, COVID, on top of everything else. And I remember we were working out, and I'm like, the angrier, the more mad I am, the better my workouts are. And he's like, I actually work out with like love and joy. And I'm thinking like, I just want to rip someone's head off, right? And he's sitting over here, and he is not. When I say like, you think of him, he's like a bad dude, you know, like strong, like disciplined. I say bad dude, like he's a world-class deadlifter, you know.
Oh wow.
And he's the most disciplined man I know, I think. And he's got 23 years on me. We've developed the most beautiful like father-son relationship, like just an amazing, like we both pour in, right? Relationships, and those are the best relationships. So we talk about joy. Joy is a constant topic. So today I'm on Instagram, and I remember like, dude, me and my son, look, any relationship has its strains on it. I don't care who you are or what the dynamic is. And I remember like, my son was a little bit younger, whatever, he would do something before bed, not listen, like it's time to go to bed, jumping, playing, like laughing, like, dude, I told you not to do this, whatever. And let's just say I like made him go to sleep, and you could tell he was pissed at me, and I was pissed at him, and I didn't want to get mad. And it didn't matter what happened the night before. Bro, every single morning he woke up, morning, daddy, let's play. And I'm like, dude, I kind of wanted to wrestle you the past, like, you know, sleep. Like, you know, I don't want this to happen again. And he would wake up like a brand new, fresh start, not even remember what happened the prior night, right? So I read on Instagram today, it's like, children don't earn joy. They don't wait until they've accomplished enough or healed enough or become worthy enough to experience delight. They just play. They find a stick and it becomes a sword. They see a puddle and it becomes an ocean. They live in a constant state of wonder, not because their lives are perfect, but because they haven't learned yet that joy requires justification. And I'm like, holy shit, you know?
Wow.
I'm like, that's powerful, right?
Yeah.
So like, if you guys notice, at least like in the continuous evolution of myself, I try and bring fun and joy and humor to everything that this industry has.
Yeah.
Right? Because this industry doesn't have a lot of that.
No, it
and it has
doesn't.
people that are miserable and just like, dude, like, just hang it up already. Or like, you're so negative and just like toxic and all these words that we all use on a daily basis of like attorneys and other people like that.
Yeah.
Like, just get out of the way. Like, we're just trying to have fun, close deals. Like, we're all on the same team here, you know?
Absolutely.
And it kills the morale of the business.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This whole like you versus you versus you versus you, like
Makes no sense.
Yeah,
We're
none.
all trying to get to the same
Yeah.
like finish line here.
we're all representing the same people. Like, It's okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many people in a transaction.
15 on a purchase?
Yeah.
I mean,
Ish.
and that's only a New York thing for the
Yeah.
most part.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And a little bit in Jersey, but
Some here and there.
Yeah, depending on
Yeah.
what part.
I mean, as far as technology has gotten, it's still archaic in the real estate industry. From
Implementation, adoption, all that.
yeah, I mean, it should be way more streamlined. We're still working on email.
Yeah.
Right?
You're
How
right.
long was email created?
I was talking to a mortgage bank last week, and they're like, yeah, so after you submit the loan, you have to manually send an email for loan disclosures. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So a loan officer has to put all the data in, submit the data, and then email a human and hope that human sees it, replies, acknowledges it, and then does it?
See, well,
I'm like, Brigham, can you shout out to Brigham or, oh my God, my saint CTO. God, you did me right with this one.
Yeah, very good.
Like, build an API for this and just do me a favor, automate this. Like, what are we
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
But they're like,
yeah.
oh, but back in 1992, we used to have to drive 15 miles. I don't care about 1992. Like, it's 2025 here, right? And that brings us
Yeah.
to the next topic of like implementation of tech inside of our world. It's not us keeping the tech out. The tech is there. The tech's at our
It's there.
fingertips.
Yeah.
It's the 55-year-olds that have been doing this for 20 plus years that will not implement anything out of fear of what you said. Ooh, if we have this, my managerial role might be eliminated if we have a digital pipeline review and they tell me
Yeah.
where all the weaknesses and inadequacies are and the underperforming loan officers and all this stuff. Ooh, I can't bring this tech in because I'm out of here. And you know they're robbing people for $300,000 to $500,000 a year doing nothing.
Yeah, no, I've seen it firsthand. We have company meetings, and the older crew does not like when integrations are put in or implementations, and they literally say, "Oh, so you don't need me anymore."
Bingo.
So eventually you're not going to need me
We
anymore.
don't need you now. We actually haven't needed you for a decade, but you've been holding on.
Yeah,
That's the fact of the matter, you know?
Yeah.
And I think like that's where like I use the term 55, like, and there are people that always are outliers. There's always an exception to the mass rule, right? But like until the current 55-year-old in the business is out or the masses aren't 55 and above, like that 40 to 55, and I've said this all along. So I'll be 39, right? But I've also been in business since 2007.
Long
So
time.
even though I'm going to be 39, this is all I know for 18 plus years.
Yeah.
So I've seen both sides. The 40 to 55 range really got knocked out from 2008 in the industry. That's who kind of cleared out. So people that got in 01, 02, 03, shit hit the fan 07, 08, 09. They got out. They got out, but then some came back in 2011 and 12, right, when Dodd-Frank's rates were at 3% and everyone was making money again.
Yeah.
And then let's say 20% of the people that got out got back in.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, when I met, oh, yeah, I used to do mortgages. How many people here? Oh, I used to do mortgages. Yeah, in what, 1994? Like, what are we talking
clients.
about here?
Clients. I get that from clients.
I know
They're like,
everything.
oh
I used to do mortgages. Yeah, when? Oh, 2003.
I used to work in
Yeah.
mortgage-backed securities.
And I used to run a 4.540, right? And if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. I don't want to hear about that. But the reality is that 40 to 55 gap are the unknowns. Like, are those 40 to 55-year-olds going to sway more towards the antiquated ways? Or are they going to sway more towards, like, the full understanding of the influential digital age? And I don't know the answer to that, but we'll
I
find
think
out.
majority of the percentage are still going to be with the 55.
You do.
Yeah.
Plussers.
Old school.
Majority of them. I think a small percentage is going to adapt. The ones that are disciplined. But I mean, what I'm kind of like noticing is the young guns coming into the industry now, like, and they're good. I'm not going to lie.
So
They're good.
And I agree with you. I really do agree with you. But in my opinion, because I was once that young gun. I was the youngest guy in the room until COVID hit, right? And then coming out of COVID, I was no longer the youngest guy in the room.
Yeah.
That was really like, holy shit. Now coming out of COVID, like 2021, I think I was 35. But when COVID like started, and when I left the business, I was 29, 30. Right? There's a big gap between 29 and 35.
Yeah. Huge.
I'm still young at 29, 35. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like falling in the middle of the pack here, right? But it was like, do they have the resiliency and the adaptability when market conditions change by the second. Lenders start going out of business, banks start cranking down, credit scores start rising, and now it becomes chaos. Like, yeah, they'll be here for the next 3 years. I think we're going to go on an amazing, I said this earlier, guys, 36 months to make as much money as you can, then all shit's going to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Liquidity crisis, implementation of blockchain, digital, AI, that's really going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Can they survive that? Because a lot of these people operated solely on transactions, not relationships.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me personally, it's not so much they know how to get deals done or it's guidelines. They are, more social media heavy focused, just adapting into, the Gen Z population and a lot of these kids are becoming entrepreneurs, self-employed. So they're tapping into that. But yeah, to your point, I don't think that can translate over into after this run. What can you really dig in there and keep it going?
Yeah, I think that comes up from knowledge and experience.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of the models that a lot of these bankers or brokers run are, I'll put all the deals together, you go out and get the business. And the problem with that is that you don't learn
At all.
right?
Yeah.
You know nothing.
I remember when I started, I was, I was grateful to, I didn't make a ton when I started in the busiest time of the year.
You didn't know anything.
But I worked under someone and I learned how to read credit reports. I learned how to structure deals. I learned how to do it all. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and you talk to some of these guys who have been here for 3-4 years and don't know their ass from their elbow. At this
Some
point.
of the top guys I know still to this day don't know how to structure a deal.
Yeah.
They can go out and get business like you can't even imagine. They don't even know what FHA means. They can't even spell FHA. I'm not joking.
Yeah, no.
Dead serious.
Sure. I see it.
You got a job, you got money in the bank. Okay, good deal. Go pre-approval, $2 million. And I'm like, hey Jeff, I put this deal in contract. I forgot to verify that their income. I saw $1 million in the bank. What can we do? Literally.
Yeah.
That's why loan links exist, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I have 230 people that are calling me on like a monthly basis, just sending me the most
Deals that they
incomplete
can't
loan
do.
requests.
Yeah. And that can't get done, but they don't know how to structure it.
That's for real.
And it's when it's too late, right?
Usually when it's too late.
When the deal's in contract, you're fucking 2.5 weeks in, you blew it, right?
And now how do we save it to try and save face?
Oh, well, yeah.
You know?
The worst.
What would you say, like, your biggest success has been in this business so far?
I would say truly just not giving in to, for me, I'll always say like the whole refinance boom in 2021 and COVID, I really didn't go after refis. Like I barely did any, so I captured some, but I barely did any refinances. So I always think back to that because I stayed on purchases. It brought me to where I am today. So it's not a success, but it's always something that I'll fall back on because it made me successful today.
I would say greatest success would be the relationships I built during the refi boom, which has kept me every year doing more and more and more, right? And having my best year this year, just from the, I don't have a lot of, realtor partners. I got maybe 3 or 4 really great ones that I love working with. And the rest is just referrals from past clients.
So you're big past client focused.
Yeah, big.
Brings us to another good topic. I always say, like, everyone goes out and wants new relationships, new this, new that. And I'm like, all right, so you've closed a couple $100 million in your career. I'm giving an example, whatever it is, right? You closed 1,000 people, 500 people, 100 people, whatever. Mm-hmm. Why are you not minding them? They did business with you. Whether you had a good closing experience or a bad closing experience, you still closed that deal. You're still, I don't care what anybody says, they're still your property in the most respectful way, right? Because you did that loan. Your name's attached to that loan, the loan performance, right? Like, you got paid for it. Everyone always wants to go out and get new this, new that. I'm like, if you just mind the people that closed with you, every year, if you do it the right way, they should be good for 20 deals.
Easily.
Yeah.
Again, depending on how big your book of business is and where you're located and all those other factors.
Yeah.
If you do it the right way.
Agree.
Easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on implementing that for sure. I'm very heavily realtor lead gen. And I'm not like, it's not like I'm getting new ones. They just come. But definitely, implementing a way to get in touch with my past clients. Like just recently on Monday, before the Fed rate cut just happened and rates just went up like they always do, I saw 33 refinance opportunities, all the way from 8% down to 6.99.
Wow.
And I sent that blast email out, and like 5 of them sent me their mortgage statements. And, I'm about to do some quotes on them. But these are people I haven't contacted in a really long time.
Stale.
And if I was in contact with them more often, I probably would have got 15 mortgage statements, not just 5 mortgage statements.
Not even just them, right? It's also like just sometimes just touching base, checking in, and just saying, "How's everything?
How's the family?
Like, how's the neighborhood? Do you regret moving? Like, how's work? And
Yeah.
and if you compile all of this information from your original call that you save, and when it's time to circle back, you have all of this information to go back to.
Yeah.
Right, to be able to touch, and you have those touch points with them. You don't even have to talk about the mortgage. You don't even have to talk about refining, right? And maybe at the end of the conversation, you just kind of work in like, hey, by the way, do you happen to know anyone that's looking to buy or maybe complaining about, their mortgage payment?
Yeah. 100%. I commend you for doing it alone. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I do have.
He's built for it though. He's built for the chaos.
Crazy.
I do have an assistant, but most.
Yeah.
But I'm not running a powerhouse like you are.
No, but like still, man, like I still I can't find the time to do everything I want to do. There's just not enough time in the day.
And is that because of what? Just not enough hours? You can't find the right help, humans, tech, what?
I have so many ideas like that are real ideas, not like
Not bullshit, yeah. Solving real problems.
Yeah, like that I know that come to my head that I know I can do, and I write it down. There's just so many things to implementate, and the people that are around me, they're not making the money I'm making.
They work for you,
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah, they're not making the money I'm making, so I give them a certain amount of those job tasks.
Do you manage and monitor their capacity?
Yes. I push them a little bit further as time goes on. Give them a base set of tasks like, hey, this is what I want you to do. See how they perform.
But you're
on
delegating
that.
all those, just to be clear, you're delegating all those tasks to each one of your employees.
Yes. Yeah. And then I see how well they perform in the next 4 weeks. Hey, maybe they're not really good at that, so I'm going to give that to somebody else.
How are you monitoring and measuring that though?
Just
Like, hey, I'm putting you in the CRM. You have these 10 tasks. Did you complete these? Check off if you did. Don't if you didn't.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I have certain softwares I'm able to see if they did those tasks. And it's just like, throughout the day, like if that person did it, even if you're not with them, if it's getting done or not, or you're hearing a client complain or, whatever it might be. But then I'll just add tasks as goes on. And then once those tasks are at capacity, then it's time to hire another person.
How do you delegate? Do this now or you're fired.
Yeah, basically. Like I'm just like get it or fucking get out. It's like a slow grow, right? Like she's definitely come a long way, and as I've watched her get more comfortable, I've been able to throw more at her so I can focus on other things. But for the most part, I still do a lot of like the what people would consider like the busy work. I love taking the applications.
That's where you make your money. That's a skill.
And that's what
form that relationship.
Yeah, that's how I stay in front of them, and that's where the relationship comes into play for me.
I use Emily for that. She'll talk to them.
You think you're using her? She's really using you for that. She's convinced you. Flip the script a little bit.
Well, I mean, listen, I wouldn't be where I am without her. If you're watching this,
She'll be watching.
But yeah, I mean, a woman's touch, is better than a man's touch.
100%.
When it has to do with
Everything.
being on the phone and believing what she's saying. So I'll stick with the numbers. She'll stick with the talking.
So it's interesting. Obviously, I met both you guys through social media.
Yeah.
Right? And I always say, like, there's my times that I absolutely love social media, when I have beautiful relationships that I've grown out. The closest people in my life today, majority, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, I met on social media, right?
Yeah.
The people that I knew before social media days, I still know them. I have the foundation with them. I see them. They like all the shit. We talk, DMs, Facebook messages, all that, LinkedIn messages. But like my close people that I've met, I've attracted, and vice versa, through social media. Mm-hmm. What has been your guys' experience in like social media, people that you've attracted or engaged?
Well, I think to your point with that, when I started following you, I think people can find you that agree with you and have a like-minded, like whatever you're talking about, like, oh wow, like that resonates with me. And I kept seeing that, and I kept seeing that from you. And that's, when I started reaching out to you. And then you talk and you can click, but that is very rare. Like,
You think so? You think it's rare?
yeah, I mean, for me, like, I don't want to talk to some random person,
Same.
unless I click with them. So I haven't met anyone on social media. There's people who reach out to me here and there. But I don't really have capacity to open up more relationships right now.
Whole new volume. Yep.
Yeah. With you, I think it was an over time thing, right?
Years.
Like,
It was a slow grow.
yeah.
Years.
It was over time. So it's not like I hit you up one day and like we kind of connected.
You're best friends.
Yeah. Like if somebody was constantly like reaching out to me and like we started clicking, then maybe it would happen. I just never had that for anybody. And that's what I think I did to you. I kept, reaching out.
I don't even remember what our first interactions were.
Neither.
No, really, seriously.
Yeah.
I think it evolved over time.
Yeah, 100% evolved over time. It was very,
Organic.
Yeah, it was, at first it was very small conversations here and there, like nothing like, hey, let's meet up or anything like that. But I think I went to your events and then we talked and then we got along and then it just happened and formed from there.
Yeah, I think that's how it has to get done. I think when people meet in person, they feel like forced, like, oh, we could do, let's do this, let's do that. Like, nothing ever on all three sides, like nothing on my side ever felt like pressure. It was like, dude, like, can we do something together? Can we not? If we don't, great. If we do, great. Right?
Yeah,
I think like there was no forcing of anything with like any underlying motive or objective. Just like get to know each other.
Yeah.
And I think like
100%.
that's been like that's probably why we're sitting here today, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or that's how I felt. I just saw your post. I was like, this guy's a real asshole. I can click with this. Right? But
True.
everything was just genuine. Everything was just real. Like,
See, but it's interesting you said it, right? And it's like, dude, I could be the biggest motherfucker in the world. A lot of people know that, right? But that's not who I am. Like, there are reactions that take place, and there are shit that happens in this business and in life that you could perceive me as that. That's not who I am. Like, and don't forget also, every single thing I tell everybody, full disclosure, everything I do, say, or post is fully thought out and calculated, right? And I am very aware of the ramifications or consequences of my words and my actions. But for me, it's also what I've found is a great way to filter people out, right? Because like if you don't like this side of me, which is real, because everyone has that side. It's a matter if they're going to show you it or not.
Yeah.
I can tell you stories of people like, oh, they're a saint. Yeah, okay. Do you know this story? You're not going to get the best side of me. You're always going to get all of me. But when shit hits the fan, what are you going to do? You're going to run for the hills? Why? Because I said the F word and you don't like that?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where are you going to be when shit hits the fan and like this $2 million deal's literally on life support and you're, running away?
I think that's when you truly know people too, right? When you say something a little bit controversial and then
how they respond.
How they respond
How do
back,
they feel
like,
about you after that?
Completely.
You'll know right away like who that person is, and it's like, all right, well, you just saved me a lot of time.
And our industry, I don't care. It's as soft as a pillow. There's so many soft people out here. You go on LinkedIn, like, listen, I'm a fan of LinkedIn in general, but like, it's become a bunch of old white guys just like complaining about everything. Bankers complain about brokers posting this people putting that. And I'm like, dude, you like, go gossip to your mother or something. I don't know. Don't come to LinkedIn and spam this shit. Like, I'm coming on here for opportunity and just like, look what's going on in the industry or the market. You got a bunch of grown babies just being soft.
Yeah. There's a lot of that on LinkedIn. I'm not heavy on LinkedIn just because I don't know how to get attention from business from there, but I do enjoy your posts.
I think from the social media, just from meeting you, I got the opportunity to meet Sydney just from a.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
For Re-Verify.
No,
right before that.
From.
Oh, the cookbook.
I met a client in like a one of these Facebook groups. Ended up using her as the agent. Client actually didn't end up working with me. And then she ended up calling me back during a Labor Day weekend while I was away, and she needed pre-approval, and I got it done right then and there for her. Right. So, had the opportunity of meeting.
Big.
Yeah, big. And then a few other agents that happened to be my closest friends now that I met years ago that I cold called during when I first started.
Still clicking.
Still to this day.
So as we close up the segment, I want to understand better that CRM is a big topic, and it's going to be leading into our next episode after this one. How I know you utilize your CRM, like that's like really where you operate out of. I know you don't really. That's fine.
Don't
It's okay.
sugarcoat it.
Me either. Fucking hate it.
I'm not fucking organized in any shape, way, or
No
form.
CRM.
I don't even open up my CRM.
There you go.
The only thing I open up is my past client list, and then time to call.
That's it.
That's
Gotta
it.
go.
Yeah. I would have so much anxiety.
So, well, this is why this is like balanced here, right? Like no anxiety, you know. You live in your CRM. Explain to us how you've evolved inside of your CRM, and in your opinion, what makes a great CRM in the mortgage space?
Yeah, so I use tons of CRMs, and I think I can pretty much build them out pretty much the same way of how I would like it, but the functionalities of CRMs are what really makes the difference. So
Do you
with
have?
me-
You said you have different CRMs. So you have different CRMs for different things.
no, I've used different CRMs.
Okay, but
like,
you're using one
through-
CRM now.
Yeah,
Okay,
which I don't want to name the name because I don't think promoting them is what I want to do.
Fair.
Either way, so how I evolved is just knowing like through my day to day what is important, and it really like through my team, not even me, because my team needs to know how to operate it at every minute of time, at every second of the
You
day.
enforce your team. You require your team to live in your CRM also.
Yeah, because I can't possibly tell them what to do at every
Can't.
point in
Full-time
time.
job times 10.
So for me, it was really like, okay, how do I build it out? Not for me, for my team, and then how do I monitor them? You ask like how I monitor them is literally like dumb proof, like dummy proof. Like I'm going to tell
has to
you, yeah, like you're not going to do things on your own, or you're never going to say, hey Joe, I think this is a good idea to do. Like never, no employees ever do that. That's why they're employees. They're
And that's
never,
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why you get paid what you get paid.
One day I'll
but-
be an employee. I don't know when, but one day. I've never had that luxury, so.
I wish somebody can tell me what
I
to do
wish somebody
every
would tell
second
me
of
what
the
to do,
day.
dude.
Like,
That's so
Imagine.
funny. I just don't even want that again.
it's like working out, right? You go to the gym and you have a personal
I have a trainer.
trainer. Like you go to the gym, they tell you exactly
wish
what to do. It's the
that's
greatest
I
thing
don't wanna
ever.
think
I
about
can't
it.
even compare
Yeah.
the two because it's not the fucking same thing at all.
It's not. Well, you use a trainer, so
3 days a week.
to me, it's the same thing. Like, obviously, you don't want to get reprimanded and yelled at. Like, listen, I don't want to be an
Something goes with
employee
that.
in that. But that's how I built out my CRM. Is literally like, tell what my employees do at every point in time, and how do I monitor.
You can
them
literally
to
click in your
do it.
CRM and see if Danny completed all his tasks for the day.
Yeah,
That's it.
tasks,
It's really
Are you
calls,
building
task
out
fit.
tasks for them every day in it, and it fires off to them?
Automations. No, every time for example, today, I found a weakness in not being in touch with clients in process every couple days. So I made an automation for Danny to call the person just to check in. It's going to be a task automatically every 3 or 4 days.
So who's ever in your active pipeline every day, every 3 days, he'll get call Joe, call Sally, call whoever.
Yeah.
And he knows, and once he does that, he logs that he did that, and now you see that he did that.
Yeah. So it's literally follow up just to touch base. That's it.
What's your repercussions for not completing all acceptable tasks in a time period?
Well,
You're suspended, no pay.
yeah.
Kicked right in the nuts.
Yeah.
Go
you're
home.
gonna have to go. You're gonna
Find
have
a
to
new
go.
fucking job.
He is home already.
Streaking. Well, one, I will try to assign it to another team member.
Oh, you will?
Yeah, that task. If that team member won't do it, then eventually I'm be like, I have to call a meeting. I have to start fucking yelling at people and saying,
Do you
like,
ever get heated? Do you yell?
no, I
Never,
don't
right?
yell, but I do get, I just get upset with them. I'm like, guys, like, I start to blow up like
Internally,
that
though.
one day. The one day I'll start freaking out and like,
And Emily just rub your head.
unfortunately Emily is there, and then Emily tells them like, yo, Joe's freaking out today,
She's like your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely my voice because I tell her like, you need to tell this person what they're doing wrong, because if I tell them
They're
what
not
they're
gonna
doing
like
wrong, it's not going to be
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Interesting. I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
So no CRM.
Small things here and there. Like for me, like I just have time block days to do certain things. So like Tuesdays are like update days. Wednesdays are follow up days, and so on and so forth. So I build out my week where I just know that I have to make phone calls, right? So for me, like touching base with everybody in process that's a day already set up.
So as we close up the episode, obviously it's called Deposit That to your brain bank. We're fortunate today where we're going to have 2 deposits to the brain bank. What's one thing you want a potential buyer, a current person who owns a home that might need to refinance, a realtor partner, anybody? What's one thing you want to leave people with as like guidance, whether again, buying, refinancing, or it could be non-industry related?
It's a good one. What do I want to leave somebody with?
Think about it. What do you got?
So I would say always just reach out and have a conversation with me, right? If you don't know, don't assume, because a lot of people in life assume that you know something. That's the biggest thing I want to take away from like saying on this segment here is like what I've learned over the years is that I do not understand like what you're thinking right now, or nor should I assume that you know like common sense, right? Like some
True.
people have it, some people don't.
Most don't.
Yeah, most don't. So I always say like don't ever think you know what I'm thinking. Like for a client, for example, like if I'm talking to a client, like let's say I text them and they think it's mean or abrupt or whatever it is, like don't assume, like you don't know what I'm thinking in that moment, or just ask me. I have a conversation, communication, don't assume.
Just
uh,
Big Papa, Drake.
what's up?
I think Drake. Did I ever tell you that?
Got it. Back in the day, not as much now. I would just communication's big. I would just say loyalty, right? You know, it's hard to come by, you know, loyal partners in our business, and especially in just relationships in general, right? Everyone's always looking for the next best thing or the next best deal. You know, so remaining loyal to those who pick up the phone for you on weekdays, weeknights, weekends, you know, even at the most inconvenient times that you call, you know, whether you're a client, a partner, remain loyal.
I always say that when I see someone's name pop up on my phone, if I cringe, I probably don't want to do business with you, right? And that goes for everybody. You can call me at the best time. I might be sitting here nothing. Like, oh, I wonder where my next deal is going to come from. And I see someone's name calling, it's giving me a deal, and I cringe, or I'm like, oh, not again.
Yeah.
It's probably a key indicator.
Yeah.
And oppositely, if shit's pouring on me, right? It's raining out. I have no clothes on, right? I'm like dodging bullets. Oh, Joe's calling. Hey, what's up, Joe? And meanwhile, like, you know what I mean? That's how I've learned how to figure out, like, who do I really want to build with?
Yeah.
And who do I not want to build with? So stay tuned for the next episode of Deposit That. We got special guests coming on from when, where. Appreciate you both. As my son says, double deuces.
Double deuces.
Deuce.